A family in Swindon bought a used car for £4,500. Decent looking saloon, low mileage on paper, full MOT. 14 months later, the engine warning light came on. The gearbox started slipping. The repair quote came back at £3,200 on a car they paid £4,500 for. They replaced it. Another £4,000 gone. 3 years after that, the same cycle. A different car, a different problem, the same result. That is not bad luck. That is what happens when you buy the wrong car. The used car market in Britain has a dirty root. Most buyers think cheap means unreliable. They overspend on something newer, something badge premium, something with a finance agreement attached, because they have been told that is the only way to avoid a breakdown. That is not true, and the industry profits every single time someone believes it. But there is another category. Cars built so well, engineered so simply, and maintained so cheaply that they will still be running long after the finance agreement on your neighbour's crossover is approved. Today we are counting down 10 of them. 10 cheap cars you can buy right now in Britain that will genuinely, reliably, without drama, do 200,000 miles. Buying a used car in Britain is not the same calculation as buying one somewhere with a dry climate, flat roads and mild winters. Britain destroys cars faster than almost anywhere else in Europe. Road salt is spread from October to the March, working its way under wheel arches, along sills, into suspension components and through brake lines. A car on a French driveway for 15 years looks like it left the factory. The same car on a British B-road looks like it has been in a war. We have potholes, officially the worst road surfaces in Western Europe. They destroy suspension bushes, wheel bearings, and steering components at a rate the engineers never anticipated. And since Brexit, EU parts that used to arrive in 3 days now take 10. Independent garages outside major cities have longer lead times than ever. The car you choose has to earn its reliability in genuinely harsh conditions. The cars on this list do exactly that. This list is built on 4 things. First, long-term reliability data. Which magazine surveys, RACEC, breakdown call-out data, and what car magazine reliability scores going back a decade. Not first 90 days scores, but how these cars perform after 10 and 15 years. Second, real-world data from independent UK mechanics, the ones seeing the underside of a car at 120,000 miles, at 160,000, at over 200,000. Those people do not lie. There is no financial incentive to. Third, MOT history patterns from the DVSA database. Which components fail repeatedly? Which advisories appear on every car of a given age? Fourth, parts availability and repair cost data. Every car on this list is cheap to fix, with parts available at any competent independent garage without specialist software. No manufacturer paid for placement here. Several would probably prefer this video did not exist. That is how you know we are doing it right. In the 1980s and 90s, a naturally aspirated petrol engine was a mechanically simple object. A block, a head, a timing chain or belt, injectors, ancillaries. Heavy, not especially economical, but understood and repaired by anyone with a basic toolkit. Then 2 things happened simultaneously and changed everything. Fuel economy regulations tightened dramatically across Europe, and the race to the lowest possible price point in the used car market accelerated. What those 2 forces produced together is the modern turbocharged, direct-injected, electronically managed engine. Extraordinary economy on paper, acceptable reliability for 3 years or 60,000 miles. After that, the complexity starts working against you. Turbo S cost £800 to £2,500 to replace. Carbon deposits from direct injection need walnut blasting at £400 to £800. Dual mass flywheels wear out at £700 to £1,400. DPF replacements run £500 to over £1,000. None of that appears on a service schedule or a window sticker. The cars on this list largely avoid all of it. Let's get into it. Number 1. Toyota Corolla from 2002 to 2013. The best-selling car in the history of the world. Over 50 million sold globally. The reason is not marketing, it is that they simply do not stop working. The E120 and E140 generations use naturally aspirated 1.4 and 1.6 petrol engines. No turbocharger, no direct injection, no dual mass flywheel. A timing chain that will run to 300,000 miles if serviced properly. Annual repair costs average around £350, against a UK compact car average of over £500. Clean examples sit between £1,500 and £4,000. The weakness is that the undersides rust, not body panels, but the floor, subframe and brake lines. Get it on a ramp. Repeated MOT advisories for structural corrosion means walk away. The 1ZZFE engine in earlier cars can occasionally develop head gasket issues. Pull the oil filler cap and check for creamy residue. Right engine, good history, clean underside. Do those three things, and this car embarrasses everything around it for longevity. Number 2. Honda Civic, 2006 to 2011. The 8th generation Civic caused a genuine stir, that futuristic interior, with a twin binnacle dashboard and a digital speedometer, made people stop and look. Nearly 2 decades later, it still does not look old, but the reason it is on this list has nothing to do with how it looks. The R18 1.8-litre engine uses a timing chain, not a belt. Conventional multi-point fuel injection, not direct injection. Naturally aspirated, no turbocharger. Honda's own unit, built to Honda's unusually high standards. In What Car Magazine's Used Car Reliability Survey, the petrol Civic came second in its class. Honda, as a manufacturer, scored 90.7%. Clean 8th generation Civics sit between £1,500 and £3,500. Wheel bearings can wear prematurely, budget £100 to £200 per corner. Front lower arms deteriorate on high mileage examples. Manageable wear items, not catastrophic failures. Go for the petrol, manual gearbox, full service history with documented oil changes. A clean petrol Civic with proper history will do 200,000 miles. That is not an opinion, that is what the data says. Number 3. Toyota Avensis, 2003 to 2008. If you need something bigger, 4 doors, a proper boot and adults in the back, the 2nd generation Avensis is one of the most sensible USAID car purchases in Britain. It was built at Toyota's Burniston factory in Derbyshire. Not glamorous, it does not make anyone look twice. What it does is absorb mileage with the quiet indifference of a car engineered to outlast everything around it. Go for the 1.8-litre or the 2.0-litre naturally aspirated petrol. The 5-speed manual is robust well beyond 200,000 miles. What car? Magazine's 2023 data placed the Avensis second in class for reliability among used executive cars. The diesels develop injector and EGR problems on cars used for short journeys. Petrol is the only correct choice for long-term ownership. Watch for rear light cluster seal failure on inspection. It allows water into the boot. That is cosmetically annoying, not mechanical. Number 4. Honda Accord 2003 to 2012, the Civic's older, larger sibling. For those who need full-sized family saloon space without German premium complexity, it is one of the most underrated used buys in Britain. 7th generation 2003 to 2007, 8th generation 2008 to 2012, both available as saloon and tourer estate. Go for the 2-litre naturally aspirated petrol in the 7th generation, or the 2.4-litre if budget allows. Both use timing chains. Both are documented running well past 200,000 miles on nothing beyond standard consumables. Avoid the diesel. The ICTDI and ID Tech both add DPF, EGR and dual mass flywheel complexity that works directly against the Accord's strengths. Rear brake calipers seize, particularly on the near side. Confirm this in the service history or budget for it. On the 7th generation, verify the timing belt has been replaced. This engine uses a belt, not a chain, at a service interval of 90,000 miles. Go for the petrol and the Accord goes the distance. Before we get into the second half, I want to ask you something directly. Drop a comment right now. What cheap used car have you owned that completely surprised you with its reliability, or let you down badly? My guess is a lot of you will say you were let down by something with a badge that felt premium but turned out expensive in all the wrong ways. and I am also going to guess that the car that lasted longest was something boring, something simple, something your mate laughed at when you bought it. That is not a coincidence. That is engineering. Number 5, Toyota Prius 2004 to 2015. The Toyota Prius carries unfair baggage. People who have never owned one describe battery failure and expensive repairs. People who have actually owned one describe 200,000 miles on the original battery pack and running costs that paid for the car twice over. The taxi industry settled this argument. UK independent operators run Prius fleets to 500,000 miles and beyond, typically one battery replacement over the entire operational life. The hybrid synergy drive means the petrol engine does less work than in a conventional car. Less work means less wear. Less wear means longer life. Battery replacement concerns are real and then easy to dismantle. A reconditioned second-generation battery starts from around £900 fitted. Third generation starts from around £1,400. The UK specialist aftermarket has matured completely. Second-generation Priuses sit between £1,500 and £3,500. Third generation between £2,500 and £5,000. Before buying any used Prius, pay an independent hybrid specialist for under £50 to check the battery state of health using a scan tool. The scan reads each individual cell module. A reading above 80% state of health means you have years of reliable use ahead. This is the hybrid to buy, not because it is exciting, because it is proven beyond any reasonable doubt. Number 6, Skoda Octavia, 2004 to 2013. The Skoda Octavia knows exactly what it is. Practical, spacious, mechanically reliable. And in the second generation it executes that brief better than almost anything else at the same price point. It sits on the Volkswagen Group platform, sharing components with the Golf, Seat Leon and Audi A3. The Volkswagen Group parts ecosystem is the largest used parts network in Europe. If something goes wrong, the part exists, is available, and is affordable. The engine to prioritise is the 1.9T DIPD diesel with a manual gearbox. It has a long track record of longevity when serviced correctly, with fresh high-quality oil changed on schedule. Run it on cheap oil or on extended intervals, and it will punish you. Data from What Car in 2023 placed the second-generation Octavia first in class with a 99.3% reliability score. The rule with the Octavia is simple: avoid the DSG automatic. The early DQ250 mechatronic unit fails on cars that missed gearbox oil services. Replacement runs over £2,000. The manual gearbox has none of this problem. Buy the manual. Number 7. Mazda MX-5 1989 to 2015. Every other car on this list is here for practical virtue. The MX-5 is here because it is reliable and genuinely enjoyable in equal measure, a combination almost nothing else in this price bracket can claim. The NA, NB and NC generations all use simple, naturally aspirated petrol engines. No turbocharger, no complex emission systems. In What Car's 2025 reliability survey, the MX-5 scored 97.5% in its class. The mechanical side is strong. Gearbox synchros wear on very high mileage examples. Timing belt on older models needs replacing. Confirm it has been done. The issue in Britain is rust, the central issue. These cars rust from the inside out: sills, chassis rails, floor. A car that looks clean outside can be structurally compromised underneath. Wheel arches, rear sills, front chassis legs are the areas that matter. Find one garaged, undersealed or treated with wax injection, with a clean underside inspection, and you have 200,000 miles of mechanical reliability in one of the most rewarding cars to drive at any price. Find a rusty one and you have an expensive structural problem and nothing else. Get under it before you hand over a penny. If you cannot get under it before you buy it, do not buy it. Number 8. Toyota Aygo 2005 to 2014. The Toyota Aygo is not glamorous. Tiny, slow, one mission: get you from place to place cheaply and reliably for as long as needed. It executes that mission with quiet, consistent competence. The 1.0-litre 3-cylinder petrol engine is among the simplest powertrains in any modern car. Around 68 horsepower, conventional fuel injection and no turbocharger. The engine has been proven well beyond 150,000 miles on basic maintenance. Warranty-wise, data places the Igo third on their most reliable cars list. Average repair costs are around £480, among the lowest of any car in Britain. Clean first-generation Egos sit between £1,500 and £4,000. Running costs are minimal. Insurance is among the cheapest of any car on British roads. On cars from 2005 to 2009, check the clutch carefully on the test drive for any slipping or juddering. Avoid the automated manual gearbox. It mimics an automatic, but it does so jerkily and at greater long-term cost. Go for the standard manual. Number 9. Volvo 570 Mark II, 2000 to 2007. The second-generation Volvo V70 is a large, practical estate built with Scandinavian priorities, safety, durability and simplicity, before Volvo's ownership changed and before electronics complicated everything. Many examples have covered well over 200,000 miles on routine maintenance alone. Boot large enough to move furniture, 5 proper adult seats, a ride that absorbs British roads without drama. Go for the 2.4i naturally aspirated petrol with a manual gearbox. Smooth, quiet and free of the turbocharger complexity that makes the T5 expensive long-term. The known issue on 2000 to 2003 cars is the electronic throttle module, known as ETM, which eventually fails, causing hesitation or loss of power. Replacement costs around £350. Most cars of this age will have had it done. Check the service history. These cars sit between £1,500 and £4,500. Volvo's 12-year anti-corrosion warranty means clean undersides are far more common than with most rivals of similar age. Number 10. Lexus IS250, 2005 to 2013. The Lexus IS250 is the one car on this list where you sacrifice nothing in refinement, interior quality, or equipment for the sake of reliability. Honest John's Used Car Reliability Guide describes it as probably the most reliable car you can buy. The 2.5-litre V64 GR-FSE engine is chain cam throughout. No timing belt to replace, no turbocharger to fail, no particulate filter to block. The 6-speed automatic gearbox has a long documented track record of durability. The Lexus interior ages exceptionally well, with fit and finish that outperforms German alternatives at significantly higher prices. Clean IS250 models sit between £3,500 and £8,000. Top specification SEI and SEL models come with heated and ventilated seats, navigation and reversing cameras, equipment that rivals cars 2 or 3 times the price. Road tax is higher than on most cars on this list. Real-world fuel economy sits at 28 to 32 miles per gallon. And one absolute instruction, avoid the IS20D diesel. It has a documented history of head gasket failure and DPF problems. Honest John's database has multiple expensive examples on record. The IS250 petrol is the one. The IS20D is the one to avoid without exception. 3 rules. Write them down. Rule 1. Check the MOT history before you check the mileage. The DVSA database is free and publicly accessible. A car with clean, consistent MOT records is a better buy than a lower mileage car with repeated rust and brake advisories. The mileage is a number. The MOT history is evidence. Rule 2. The engine matters more than the badge. The Toyota name means nothing on a diesel Avensis with a blocked DPF. The Honda name means nothing on an Accord diesel with a worn dual-mass flywheel. The right car is the right engine, in the right condition, with the right history. Badge shopping without engine selection is the most expensive mistake in the used car market. Rule 3. Get it on a ramp before you hand over any money, not a visual inspection in the driveway. On a ramp underneath it, looking at the subframe, the sills, the brake lines. £30 to £50 at any independent garage. The cheapest £50 you will ever spend. Here is what all 10 of these cars have in common. They're not exciting in the way the market tells you cars should be exciting. They will not make anyone envious. What they will do is start every morning, cover the mileage without complaint, pass their MOT tests without drama, and still be running long after the fashionable choices have been sold 3 times over at a loss. The used car market in Britain is designed to keep you buying. Finance agreements, depreciation curves, reliability problems timed just outside the warranty window. The system works best when you do not know what you're looking for. Now you do. The trick is not just getting the right brand, it is getting the right engine, in the right condition, with a history that proves it was looked after. Get all 3 right and you could have a car here that outlives your expectations by a decade. Go for the right engine, get the service history, check that underside, and if this video saved you from a costly mistake, subscribe and share it with someone who's about to buy something they will regret.